Hello boxing fans, right now I'm just chatting on about Amir versus Danny Garcia, and I'm just asking, is this a super fight or is it going to be an utter mismatch? I've got to say, we all know that they're going to fight now in July, and I've done this before the IBF and WBA hearings, so I'm going to assume that at least the WBC and WBA light welterweight titles will be on the line. Maybe the IBF, but they don't really like Amir, and to be honest, the IBF are pretty useless in general. So I wouldn't be surprised if Peterson is still the champion net in a few weeks' time. So what do we think about this fight, guys? Garcia versus Khan. Just a few things that I've had to pick up on. I'd like to mention them. Garcia has not had a defence of his WBC title yet. He won it against Eric Morales, and I thought that it was a very close fight, and there was a few El Terrible judges there, just play on words there. What do you think about that? Yeah, I don't think the judges were too good. They gave Garcia every single round. I didn't think that was the case. I thought it was a close fight. I think Morales even shattered Garcia's nose, which was a bit worrying at the same time in the first few rounds. He obviously hasn't had his first title defence. It would be against the Jose Alushigan if he was to take it, who I think is actually one of the most ducked boxers on the planet right now. Obviously, he's been mandatory for 3 years, if you didn't know that, and he still hasn't got his title shot. My view on that, if you're actually interested, is that if Garcia and Khan does go ahead, I think Khan will probably win that fight anyway, and then he'll be moving up in weight, therefore the belt will become vacant and a Jose Alushigan would finally get his title shot. So it could actually be a blessing in disguise, as he has a much greater chance of fighting probably against Danny Garcia. It would probably be, or maybe not, whoever's number 2 in the rankings, I don't know, and he'd be fighting him, and he's probably have much easier time of beating that guy than he would of Amir Khan or Danny Garcia. So anyway, when I'm looking at this fight now, Garcia versus Khan, there's a few things that I've just got to look at, and this could go two ways. It could be a brilliant fight or it could be an utter annihilation. And unfortunately I think Garcia could be out there to get humiliated in this fight. I'll tell you why. Garcia is taking this fight with basically 6 to 8 weeks of notice. He's not got a lot of time to prepare for this fight, and that will be one of the things that I would bring up if I lost to Khan. I'd be like, yeah, well, I only had a few weeks to prepare, come on, right? He doesn't really have a standout performance to suggest he can pull off what I think everyone would be a very big upset over Khan if he were to win. Like I said, he wasn't exactly brilliant against Eric Morales, who, let's be honest, is a shot fighter. Furthermore, if you're interested, I do think Garcia right now is a bit too flat-footed for Amir Khan. He's also going into this fight working with a speed disadvantage, a height disadvantage, and reach disadvantage. You add all them together, they're not good things to be working with. And style-wise, you've got to realise you're placing a young green hooker in with a heavily experienced ambush fighter. He holds a lot of the aces, Khan, in this fight, and I'm not sure that Garcia can pull this one off. I think the fight literally does have potential to be a good fight. If Garcia comes in with the right mentality, he can put pressure on Khan maybe. You'd have to cut off the ring really well. However, I don't rate Garcia very highly. I think he's actually the weakest of the 140-pound champions right now. I don't rate him better than Marcus Maidana, and I do not rate Marcus Maidana. I call him a one-trick pony. I think he's too green for this fight, like I said before. I think the occasion could get to him. He's never been in the ring with someone like Khan. With Khan's skill, his speed, his finishing ability. Let's be honest, Morales, he had trouble with Morales, and Morales is not anywhere near the prime. If it was Morales of 5 years ago, good lord, it could have been a total and utter annihilation. Something else I'm just going to bring up now. I can't even be sure that he would get past his mandatory defence against the Jose Alushigan. So if he couldn't get past the Jose, does he really have much chance of getting past Khan? I don't know. These are all questions for you to answer in the comment section. So I guess we're going to see. I'll leave it at that. So tell me what you think about this fight. Do you think Garcia is ready for this fight? Would you rather see a Jose Alushkin in there with Amir Khan? Or would you rather see a Jose Alushkin in there with Garcia? You know, does anyone realistically see Garcia winning this fight? And if so, how do you think he would do it?